You guys do. Yes. How's everybody tonight?
Great.
Good. Oh, please, you can do better than that. One more time. How's everybody doing tonight, y'all? Great. Great. And just to bring into the situation here, this is a Southern show. Let's get into the spice of these. How many people are from the South? Oh, very good. Got a large contingent. And then you normal people. Where y'all from? Got some chitlins and biscuits in a few minutes. It's going to be cool. I'm from Texas. Let's just humor me. I'm in a good mood. Play with me here. Let's just on the count of 3, all say the word or the contraction y'all together. Shall we do that? On the count of 3. Y'all look like a fun crowd. 1, 2, 3. Y'all! And that actually sounded sweet, too, for all you Yankees. That's great. Good deal. And another thing I want to do, let's do one more word that I think is good. Let's say chitlins. Can we do that? Can we say chitlins? Just can we get this way? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Chitlins. There we go. I feel the love in this room already.
We're open that up. Thank you.
Okay, I really am giving some notes.
Okay. I'd like to take the opportunity to share some advice on plastic surgery with you, if I could. Now, y'all up for that? Just a personal note on liposuction. If you're going to get it done on your thighs, make sure you have enough money.
Hi, how are you? Fine.
Good.
Hi, Judy. How are you doing?
Hi.
Hello.
They said to, we can't say last night, so I'm just going to say to you, all see the Olympics.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Gynecological.
Gynecological.
Gynecological. And I had another note. I didn't have my...
Like a gynecological exam? Is that what
And I didn't have my script with me up there.
I caught some of things.
Yeah.
They're most ridiculous. Let me ask you about that. What about you don't go Jerry Lewis?
Oh, I don't care about that. I'm going to cut this in half.
I know. Well, how about if I just let her go out on...
Let's say gynecological. Or what? Say gynecological instead of gynecologist. Is it hard to say?
It might be, but I'll give it a whirl anyway.
Okay.
Gynecological exam.
Yeah, right here.
Gynecological.
Oh, this is it. Be sure and try to say naked instead of nude, because nude sounds dirty.
Naked people.
Naked people, naked parents. They showed her parents naked on hard copy. Naked sounds less dirty. I don't know. They might be. I don't think
it's all
so.
naked.
It's all naked.
Just erase it from your mind if they are.
Okay,
Because
Alice.
naked sounds funny and nude sounds less.
I agree. Alice, you should have stayed there and raised the curve. You can make that the end of the speech if you want.
That's a great.
Okay?
What don't you?
Well, no, there's a whole speech. I can't believe this picture was still over there.
Forget Jerry Lewis.
Forget about
And you should.
That's a very good note.
Yeah.
You should allow naked people in your town party. You should stay there and raise the curve.
Yes.
Did you cause that?
6A. We're cutting last half of the speech. You should stay there.
It looks like some kind of flying gynecological exam. It looks like some kind of flying gynecological exam.
It looks like some kind of flying.
Okay, so how
Should we
about
just pick a place?
just pick a place? Great deal of agility and sitting coordination. Just sit on the very end of your line.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, I'm trying not to keep you. I don't want
Okay.
Since it's not here.
Okay, louder and faster, guys.
All right, number 1, please.
Hi.
Just that you changed it.
Apple take 2 for camera marker.
And action! Did you all see the Olympics? You know that woman's luge is awfully rough, isn't it? I didn't know what it was at first. It looks like some kind of a flying gynecological exam.
Bernice, the luge just happens to be a very traditional European sport that requires a great deal of agility and coordination.
Oh, really? Well, it looks like to me that you've just got to want to travel at 130 miles an hour with your legs apart on a big slab of ice. I suppose that's what separates the women from the girls.
The deal is that
Yeah. I've been up all night. Leave this yawn out of the way.
Okay.
Of course, you can never do it when you try, because I know I'm going to do it while I'm talking.
I know.
I've been wanting to do this all
All right,
night.
well,
Okay.
then you do it. I'll do it. I know. You know, that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
I tried to squelch it. Go ahead.
All right, so we see now what you do for a living and what keeps you busy 23 hours a day.
Yeah.
And now you're involved in major fundraising for Bill Clinton. Tell me how that happened.
Well, we got involved with Bill and Hillary because they're good friends of ours. We have a home in Arkansas. And we've been friends for a long time. When we're in Arkansas, we spend a lot of time with them. When they come out here, they visit us. And we believe in them. We believe in what they're trying to do for the country, and they've had a vision for a long time, certainly as long as we've known them, and longer than that. And we've been involved in the campaign in a lot of different areas. People have been kind enough to let us participate, but fundraising is one of them. My least favorite part, I should add.
I'm sure it's the hardest thing. Now, who called you and asked you to get money for them?
Well, we talked with them. I mean, we, from the very beginning, we said we would serve as 2 of the 10 national finance chairpeople, which was a big step for me because you're talking to someone whose parents had to buy all her Girl Scout cookies. I used to knock on people's doors and go, "You wouldn't like to buy this?" I didn't think so. I'm sorry, I bothered you. And my parents had to buy a room full of cookies. So it's hard. I don't like asking for money. I understand why they have election laws and that you can only give up to $1,000, but of course I'd much rather write out the check than ask someone to give it to me. We're to the point now where people are literally running when they see us coming, and when we call, it's click, because we've fleeced the first 150 best friends we have, and you know, now we're on the second list, and it's hard, it's very tough, but we're involved in also the very fun side of it, which is our friendship with them. So and we consider it worth it because we want him so much to be president. We have made a point over the years to introduce the people we know to Bill and Hillary. We've taken all the designing women to Arkansas. We've had a big party at the mansion. We've gone back several times with Burt Reynolds. We've taken Marky Post. We've had a number of parties at the governor's mansion there. And we wanted people, if they were going to support him, we wanted the people we knew to support him because they really care for him and believe in him, and not because we asked them to. So that's been sort of a motive that we've had for years now. Most of the people on Designing Women, most of the people on Evening Shade are for Bill Clinton because they've met him so many times. He's come to both shows, and in fact Hillary Clinton named Evening Shade. She named the show Evening Shade.
Really?
I was looking for a really poetic title, and I wanted to write a show that was sort of novel-like and had characters in it that I hope would be as memorable as characters out of a novel. And I couldn't come up with the title, and she called me and said, "Well, it's got to be Evening Shade." And as it turned out, it's real near where my parents grew up. So it is kind of a hard debt.
So are you having some parties here locally?
We've had a number of fundraisers on our own, and we just had a big fundraiser with a lot of other people in California Friday night, and I asked John Ritter, who's going to be the star of our next series, to be the MC, and he very graciously did so. And it's kind of been a community effort. I send material to the campaign sometimes, and some of our writers have contributed. The other day, Bill and Harry were in Atlanta, and I asked Jan Hooks to go by and be on the podium with Bill, and she did, and I saw her all day on CNN with him. Harry is right now tonight in Dallas with Bill. He's helping him with the debate, and he'll be flying to Washington tomorrow to help Frank Greer cut some ads for the campaign. We've been, the people have been nice enough to ask us for a little of our input on the ads, and it's something that I enjoy doing, so we've been working on that a lot.
Got it. What's the new slogan? Is there one?
There's not any one particular slogan. I want you to ask me that after this, okay?
Okay.
It's a good question. I've got something I want to tell you about that.
Okay, good.
Wait, you can leave that in here if you want.
No, I don't want to.
I don't blame you. Oh, wait, I forgot my script. Excuse me.
Nick, ready? Yes. On a bell.
And rolling.
On June 1st, 1992, world leaders from almost every nation on the planet will converge on Rio de Janeiro for the first ever Earth Summit. Held by the United Nations, these leaders will sign treaties that will determine the future of our global environment. At stake is the entire human race. Problem is, our own president may not participate. The only way of assuring that he will attend is for him to know that he has the full support of the American people now.
Call 1-800-LEAD-RIO.
Not me. Just not with me. Press punch when you want to get stuff. I'm sorry. Uh-oh. This guy's easy. This guy's cinch. Suffer cinchy. Sorry, dude. But the party's over. Oh, yeah. Give me this. I love this guy. And I'm so serious. I know. He says he's hard. God, I can try to sling him anytime. Oh, God, we gotta get over here. Like this. See? Takes these suckers out of the store. So, oh, God, you don't mess with my puppy like that. You see? Hey.
Looking. Is this for a TV or something? For what? Commercial?
The 90s.
The 90s.
So you guys at school or what?
Yeah.
This is now what you do after school?
Yeah. There's a condom there.
Where's the edible condom? What is it?
It's a condom.
The world's smallest.
Oh.
Here's
one for me.
Yes.
Hey, we're back to a party. Find a pair of those.
I remember.
Eduardo, que nos hallaron. Cómprale una bolsa a alguien para...
Candy condoms.
Oh, I heard about those, but...
Hey, buy this and give it to guys like here for Sergio.
Oh yeah.
They're immune to it.
We found a switch of demographics a bit in this store since Magic Johnson announced he was positive for HIV. 60% of our clientele still tends to be women, but more and more we're getting younger women in. It's not uncommon now for us to be selling condoms to 13-year-old girls. In fact, we had a limo stop by with a junior high prom the other night. The kids are about 13. I was like, I come from New Hampshire. I was like, I went to my junior prom in like a hayride thing. They're in a limo buying condoms.
That's it.
It's
Right.
only been 10 years, but the whole world has changed.
Yeah, you feel like it, huh?
Oh, I do, definitely. These kids know more about safer sex and sexuality than I knew when I was 18. Which, has its good points and bad.
You think it has changed their attitude about sex?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, one example in the change is that parents are having to talk to their children more about sex and about sexuality now because of the HIV virus. When I was 13 years old, 10 years ago, HIV really wasn't heard of yet. It wasn't, nobody knew what it was. So people didn't talk about it. Now, if you're 12, 13 years old, you know what AIDS is, you know what the HIV virus is, and hopefully you're discussing it with your parents. These, of course, is our, t-shirts and postcards. We know more about condoms than we ever dreamed we would.
So how long have you been working here?
I've been working here since we opened, so it's about 5 months.
5 months, so it's a successful business, huh?
Yes, we're very successful. It's been my observation that a lot of people in LA must be having sex.
That's for sure.
What do you think here?
I love my job. I think it's the best job. I wake up every day, happy to come to work.
Can't wait, huh?
Yeah, actually.
How come?
It's just cool. You meet a lot of people. You get to educate people. So it's really cool. I like it.
Great.
How many jobs do you know of where you get to play with rubbers all day long?
Now let me think.
Keep thinking. Keep thinking.
I thought you were going to say to enjoy. How many jobs do you enjoy? Would you enjoy?
That's
Play with
true.
rubbers. Well, here's a group. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. So now what
Great place.
Are you guys here to
We love
buy
it.
or what?
To look, to browse. We're still young.
Still young, uh-huh.
Still young.
This here is the best store, 7306
I can just
Melrose
imagine on the
Avenue.
Enquirer. It's all I remember.
So what do you mean? Is this like fun? I mean,
It's
this is
fun.
like
It's
to
fun
hang
to
out?
browse and look around, and I think it's important, Today it's very dangerous, and society is getting kind of screwed up, so I think it's important to have stores like this where kids can come and feel comfortable, be able to buy what they need. I'm 16 years old, but I mean, I'm still a good girl, but I mean, for other people, for kids today, I think it's important.
What do you mean, good girl?
I am. For girls?
What does a good girl mean?
I'm a good girl. I'm still a virgin, But I think it's important for kids to know that there's a place where they can come and be comfortable, I think it's very important.
So how come no one believes you around here?
I am, because they just laugh. I don't know. They're silly. But I mean, I think it's important, definitely, for young people, don't you?
Yeah, 7306 Melrose.
7306 Melrose Place. Condomania. It's great.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
See what I mean? When I was 16, I was too busy reading science fiction books.
Yes. But see, it's
When I was 16, I was practicing unsafe sex. All the time. I was. That's true. That is really true. I didn't even think about condoms until like Magic Johnson. And then I was like, I woke up.
That was the moment?
Yep, I woke up right then.
I think if you talk,
I was 21.
I think if you talk to most people our age, they'll tell you that
What did you say?
when Magic announced that he tested positive for HIV, it's when our lives definitely changed. I mean, I was active in the AIDS community
Everybody comes here,
before
pump
then,
it up.
but
I've seen so many people.
when you
come
see
here.
someone with whom you grew up, someone who's a superstar, someone whom you idol, coming down with this disease,
you realize
it can happen to anyone. People, the number one question that people tend to ask us, I think, the people who work here, is, do you practice safer sex? And the answer is, I can't imagine not practicing safer sex. After when I've had 18, 19-year-old people come up to me and say, I'm already HIV positive, and I had sex once, or I had sex twice. And, you know, once you hear that, I would, no glove, no love. It's that simple.
That easy.
That easy. I mean, sex is good, but life is better.
Hey, that's it. Sex is good, but life is better, huh?
And safer sex is funner sex. It is. You can have a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
One rule is the person who wears the condom should never have to put it on. That right there, you know, conversation topic. So. Young people. I was 12 years old when Ronald Reagan was elected. And I pray to God I'll be 24 when that administration finally leaves.
Yeah, I was in a Republican Party. They've been in
They've
the
been 12 years.
So you're registered?
Am I registered? Are you kidding? Of course I'm registered.
Who are you going to vote for?
Jerry Brown.
What about you?
Jerry Brown.
Yeah.
He's the
Jerry
man.
Brown, he's the man of the young people. He's the man of the young people. It's true, man. Although, I gotta say, my mom's gonna vote for Jerry Brown.
Well, yeah, but the young are, but all...
The young are like completely on.
I knew, my father started voting for Ronald Reagan back in 1972. And I knew when my dad said to me about 3 months ago, you couldn't pay me to vote for George Bush, that America was starting to turn around. A man who believes, my dad, who believes that Nixon should still be president, won't vote for George Bush. He's not voting Republican.
He didn't do shit.
It's the economy, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I graduated from college in the worst year to get a job since like 1948. You know.
You graduated college?
Yeah, I graduated a year ago in January. Moved out to California from Wisconsin.
What's your name?
My name's Annie.
I'm Judith.
Hi. You get out here and it's like the whole world's changed.
You love LA?
I don't think it's possible to love LA.
You deal with LA.
You
don't
deal
love,
with LA.
You don't love LA.
it.
You deal with LA.
You pray to God you don't get pulled over by the cops.
We don't know. Cousin's band.
This is Welcome Home the Troops song, okay. Ready?
Camcorder Network News.
Hi, this is Paul Krasner with the CamNet News. I'm doing the news, me. I am delivering the news to you. Not even in a plain brown wrapper, but the news, me, to you. This is the news. Okay, now the news of the future, since this is taped. The Pepsi-Cola commercial featuring the slogan, "Gotta Have It," will be so successful that Coca-Cola will follow up with a commercial whose slogan is, "I need a fix right now." The Dow Corning Company will make a deal with New Age executives to manufacture tofu breast implants. Okay, one more. And finally, in the Democratic race for the presidency, more scandals involving womanizing on the part of Bill Clinton will surface in the media. And Clinton, in a desperate attempt not to lose the race, will offer to be castrated as an option. And now for my commentary. I'm sure you've seen those commercials on regular TV for airbags. they have people coming out and saying, "I'm alive," and they're holding an airbag. It's a fraud. Most cars don't have airbags on the passenger side, and some of these are children, obviously not drivers. It's really the facade of caring. They just want to sell the car to the driver, because passengers don't usually buy cars. But how do I feel? I'm not a driver. I don't want to go into carpooling with a driver who has an airbag, and that sanctions careless driving on their part. So I think that there should be airbags in every seat or none at all. See you next time.
Camcorder Network News.
Okay, I gotta find the captain of the ship. The Rainbow Warrior, Greenpeace.
You're sort of like Dan Rather on acid.
Mr. Klein, you're making a movie about this guy?
Yeah, we are making a movie about this guy.
So you're making a movie about him?
When I was a little boy, when I was growing up, he was my hero.
No kidding.
I always looked up to him. Yeah.
Right. When you were very, very small.
When I was very small, my father said there were very few heroes left in the world, and he said Bob Hunter, for an adult is the type of person I want you to be. So I said, when I get to be an adult, I want to do a movie on his life when he was my age.
Well, Bob doesn't look that old. He's well preserved.
Vitamin C.
Bob has spent many, many days at the Betty Ford Clinic, and it's helped him. He's lived a clean life, and he's had clean thoughts. More important, he's done some good things.
All right, who's going to play Bob in the movie? That's the important thing.
Peter Bayhuth, whose next life is as an actor, is going to play Bob Hunter. Bob Hunter, Peter Bayhuth.
Oh,
It's a pleasure to meet you. That's in the story. Bobby Hunter, excuse me. You met.
Bob, who do you want to play you in the movie?
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen will play, of course.
Who else?
By the way, in a unique way, and I hate to be flip, two presidents of Greenpeace.
Well, two at once?
No?
Good.
Whoa.
No. Is there a library?
What yeah, that's what I was going to say. Where's the library? No, wait, let's get together.
There's not even a trophy.
Wait, let's see if we can, this is for posterity.
Yeah.
You know?
There's not even a trophy.
Two presidents of Greenpeace together.
There's hardly a thanks.
Yeah. Well, at least, consider yourself, if you don't get stomped to death afterwards, you get
That's right. The reason that we're former presidents is because we got stomped.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a historic occasion. Two presidents of Greenpeace lined up together outside the Rainbow Warrior.
Okay, now we can say, what do you really think of that character?
The best there is.
There you go.
Well, they had to kick
The best there
so you
is.
could take over.
Yeah, all right. And then they had to kick me over. We'll recycle.
Yeah. I resigned before they could get to me.
Did you? Good. So he really is making a movie, huh?
Apparently.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. I mean, it's about time. No one's making eco movies. Or they haven't been making.
No, there isn't a good one. There's not a good one. Somone just saw the rainforest one. That was
Amazon.
It was who was it? Sean Connery.
Medicine Man.
Yeah. Somebody saw it and told me,
Yeah.
well, that doesn't make it.
Doesn't work either.
I think it's got to be sort of funny.
Yeah.
If it's sort of funny, that could help.
Well, when you see the trailer, when you see the trailer on TV, and the guy goes, "I have just discovered the cure for everything, and now I've lost it." When it's that obvious in the advertisement, You wonder about subtlety, you know?
Yeah.
You wonder.
Or who pitched
Does it
the thing?
exist, you know?
Who pitched it and what they do?
I just would like to shake your hand.
Okay, good enough.
Was always my dream.
Now we
to
have
follow
a-
your
we have a-
footsteps, and now I'm the skipper of this vessel.
You
That
got
was
it?
really my greatest dream. My God, yeah.
Okay.
So it's really nice to meet some of the old warriors.
Well, I'm really glad there's some that, you know, for a while there we thought we'd blown it completely and it would have all long since fallen apart. And then once we all really got down to serious board meetings and started arguing all the time, then we were convinced it was pretty well over. Yeah. So this is all in the nature of a miracle.
Huge
No, but
experiment.
really, Greenpeace still lives from
yeah.
the memories. We are always looking back to the roots. If you see all the Greenpeace books, it starts with that event. Like,
I had a feeling writing this stuff down was a necessary thing.
Same principles.
Yeah.
So great.
It's always been the same.
Well, I'm sure glad this is all happening. And,
Yeah.
In fact, I'm a little breathtaking. This is the first time I've actually seen this
Oh, really?
up close. Yeah.
What do you think about the Rainbow Warriors?
Yeah. Well, I was on the other one, but this is bigger and awesome. Sails. You don't pull those up by hand.
It's a beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 people can do it, right? 2
Yes.
people can pull it.
So what? No, I'm still gonna party and rock and roll.
Hold it. Get off, get off, get off.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So, Richard, what are you doing growing that fuzz over your solar panel there?
Well, I'm growing this fuzz because I'm concerned that when the UVs come down, they're going to give me skin cancer on my head. So all the protection I can get. At this height, you know, I'm very close to the sun anyway, and makes the problem. So, hey, save the ozone.
That's just it. The ozone's disappearing, so you got to grow it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm on hiatus, too.
You're on hiatus.
No, where are you going to take it?
Now, who was next? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, sure. Yes.
And then Greenpeace. Do this in the exhibit, so you can talk about the old
Let's go!
Here come the pipsqueaks. Hey, do you like Greenpeace?
Yeah.
You like Greenpeace?
Yes.
Oops, door's open. People come out.
Established a lot of the Japanese fleet communications. So one day, you know, like we had all this.
Someone who could read it though?
Yeah, we had full translators staff on board. But one day we're in here and like we'd found all these Japanese DriftNet fleet radio fax frequencies. So we programmed the fax machine, right? And we're sitting here and the thing nothing's happened for like days and days and days on this frequency. And all of a sudden it just starts warming up and it starts spitting out all these Japanese characters, you know? And we're thinking, oh my God, because we've been trying to break this Japanese fleet code, which they give their catch and position reports in. And so we get this thing, we're like, yes, look at this, it's finally come in. This has got to be the cipher. And so we get Eureka, we wake Eureka up and we go, Eureka, read this, what is this, what does it say? And he goes, oh, very interesting, yes, oh. And I'm like, what does it say, what does it say? And she goes, it's the ball scores from Tokyo. I used to go to this school, you know?
Just what you've been waiting for.
Did you ever crack the code?
No, we never did.
But you got the baseball scores.
Yeah,
from
we got
Tokyo.
the baseball score.
That's great.
So this is the Inmarsat, the satellite communications device, and also the telex that works. Just general radio room computer, 2 HF sets, which are long distance, high frequency sets. This is
the porthole over here.
And this are all radio intercept things. This is a spectrum analyzer. It would give you a video representation of the whole electron, transmission spectrum. You see little spikes, and you can kind of like zoom in on it and determine the frequency that there's radioactivity at. And this device does a similar thing. Just shows you graphically the whole radio spectrum and who's translating where, and then we program it into the ICOMs and listen in on them.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah. What's that thing up there?
That's a satellite weather fax.
Oh, okay.
It's a satellite image. You know, you can see the west coast here and the storm, the clouds. That's where we are right now. That little arrow is our position. You know.
You are here.
Yeah. There's the storm sweeping in off the Pacific. We can get a hard copy of that if we wanted, but generally what we get is things like this, radio transmitted weather maps, where you can see the low pressure, and high pressures coming onto the shore here.
I imagine that's somewhat important when you're sailing the high seas.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because these weather maps, It looks somewhat like a contour map. These are pressure increments instead of height.
Oh, okay.
But what you find is the closer, like on land, on a land map, the closer the lines are, the steeper the terrain. Well, on pressure maps, the closer the lines are, the higher the wind speed. So you actually can calculate a wind speed based on the on the tightness of the
Is that what you do on the
isobars.
ship? Do you do that sort
No,
of thing?
I'm just a general kibitzer on board.
Oh, yeah?
Troublemaker. I try to put together the projects for the ship to work on.
Oh, do you? Well, that's an important job.
Yeah, it's fun. I get to work half on land and half on the ship, so I really enjoy it.
What's the most memorable thing that's happened to you since you've been on board?
Well, I work with all the ships. Getting rammed by the Navy was pretty memorable, almost sinking.
U.S. Navy?
Yeah, stopping the Trident missile test, or diving on the drift nets is pretty important to me.
How did you get up the drift net?
We had a net hauling device. We brought one along just in case.
A net hauling device. Did you have to invent this thing?
No, it's a commercially available thing that we modified for use here. Although it was the captain was. We had an excellent captain aboard, and the boat is not as maneuverable as a typical drift net vessel. So he did an excellent job of just keeping us on the net, and
And were there fish in it?
Well, see, we picked it up. It was so funny because we picked it up right after they dropped it in the water. And for like days, we'd had this Japanese fisheries enforcement vessel shadowing us. And we'd been working at night. And each night, like, they'd come in real close to, like, monitor us and perhaps interfere. But on this final day, we made our move in the day. And they sat, like, 5 miles off our stern, thinking we were just idling.
So they didn't know what you were doing?
They didn't know what we were doing. Ironically, it was an old Japanese whale catcher boat, the harpoon boat, that was converted to an enforcement vessel.
Wow. You guys, I don't know, out there saving the planet. I don't know. It's a good thing.
It's okay.
What's your name, by the way?
My name's Twilly.
That's right, you mentioned it before. Twilly, it's hard to remember. Twilly.
They mean a lot of folks.
Yeah. What's your last name, Twilly?
Cannon.
Cannon, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, go save a whale, will you?
Okay. Get the pizza. Yeah, save me some pizza. Come on.
Doing good to others, well, you might say it's the golden rule. Doing exactly to others what you'd want them to do to you is really the basis of a personal religion. I don't attend churches or temples. I don't have a structured religious life, but I think if you follow the golden rule, you are really living what religion wants you to do.
There's always new commercials, and the commercials are more, you watch more commercials than a show. And it's like, sometimes at friend's house, and I'm like, I wish you could fast forward the commercials.
I know, there's like 20 minutes of commercials and like 10 minutes of programs. So it's really annoying because, you know, you're at this really good part of a TV show and it cuts to a really stupid bad or something, you know? Like zestfully clean or something. Yeah. You know, it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Tonight Women. And I'm Linda Bloodworth-Thomason, the executive we have a little surprise for you tonight. It's more of a surprise for us, really, but if you'll bear with us, you'll be a part of it. Before we begin the show, I don't know if any of you know this or care, but Designing Women's kind of an Arkansas show. We've all been to, Harry and I are from Arkansas, and we've taken the whole cast there, and we have a lot of people from Arkansas who work on the show, and we have a very, very special person who's been playing in the band tonight. I don't know if our warm-up lady has introduced him, but his brother happens to be running for President of the United States, Governor Bill Clinton. And thank you for Bill. He did terrific in Tuesday's primary, terrific in Georgia. We're all looking forward to Super Tuesday. He seems to be marching through the South like Sherman now, only with a lot better intentions. And we wanted to honor Roger tonight. We feel Roger is Bill Clinton's brother, and we feel so optimistic about Bill going to the White House that we wanted to present him with something. So Roger, you can come out.
Go on.
Roger Clinton.
What's this all about? What is this all about?
While we're looking at his brother. You're going to hold this up. It says, future first brother. And let's see this fit.
I can't believe you.
And I know you'll get to wear it in a few more months. Now we also, I don't know, Steve seems to have two of these. I don't know why, because there's just one brother here. Roger, this must be a mistake. It says future first mother on it. I don't know what this means.
Well, she'll kill me. That's why if I get one, she does.
I'll tell you what, why don't you take that and look up in the audience and see if you can't find somebody to go with it. I look to the left a little. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill and Roger Clinton's mother, Virginia Clinton. You better get up there.
You know how I am. Why'd you do this?
You better go up there and hug your mama. Oh, no, you have to sing Virginia. Come down here. Virginia, we want to see this reunion, so come up or come down.
Hey, come down here, Mother.
This is Virginia Clinton, Bill Clinton's mother, and her son Roger. We have some other very special people here.
Yesterday, KCBS, the local station, had come on down and on about an hour's notice interviewed Linda at about 4:15, and they rushed it to the station for a 5 o'clock newscast. And there's a lot of attention on the Hollywood backing of the political candidates, especially tying in with Linda and Harry's involvement in the campaign. Everybody in the office is involved in the campaign. We're, along with our regular job of working the two different shows and the new show which is coming up, we're all just working elbow to elbow on the campaign, doing quite a bit of work. But you know, we all believe in Bill Clinton, and that's why we all put in the good strong hours. Yeah. This is Nancy.
Nancy Cain.
Hi, Nancy. She's shooting this piece on the Hollywood connection with supporting the political candidates and all that.
Great.
I don't know if you know, but Harry Thompson has an aircraft company called Thompson Aviation. Does a lot of maintenance on prop jobs and on jets. And Darnell is tied in here, and Darnell's company is doing a lot of the chartering for Bill Clinton. I said, so this man has a busy job.
Afraid so.
How's it going?
It's going real well, as a matter of fact.
What's
It didn't
going
for
on?
a while, but just, you know, you've got so many different people that are traveling around the country, both with Hillary Clinton as well as the governor and all of his staff. And you know, they were traveling before the campaign got large, national. They were very regional. You'd use a lot of small airplanes. You'd have 5 or 6 airplanes traveling in a given area at any point in time. And then we pick up the Secret Service, who are very particular about what they fly on and how they fly and where they go and where they land.
and it's been a interesting experience.
Is this
Something
your first
absolutely
time doing the
for a political, yeah, absolutely. And we went back and talked to a lot of the people from the Dukakis campaign who had handled it before. And because the logistics were the same. You know, they went through the whole process of starting with small planes and getting up to the large airplanes like we've got now, the Boeing 727s.
Okay, thank you so much. We've got a great show for you tonight. We have a wonderful guest star who you're going to meet, Gary Morris, is the star of Les Miserables. And so we thank you all for coming. Enjoy the show.
Julia, we're ready.
Will it break in half for me? Maybe. How much do you weigh? 65. Are you kidding? What? Tara, you gotta gain some weight. No, I do. 4th graders have to have a little chub on their tongue. It's like 75 or 60, something like that. I weigh 70. Oh my God! Morgan weighs 81.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay. Hi.
Hey, is the big donut in trouble or what?
It's on again, off again.
Yeah?
I'm sure they're working on something right now down at City Hall.
Yeah, I bet they are. The pod mall, the strip mall builders, huh?
Right.
Why do they want to take away nice-looking buildings like this?
They say it's an eyesore. Can you imagine that?
Really?
No, it's because they want to generate more revenue for the city.
Uh-huh.
You know, money is the name of the game these days.
What if they tear down this donut? I don't think they should. It's a landmark.
Well, what if some greedy developer comes in here and says he wants to tear it down and put up one of those strip malls?
This isn't the place for it. This thing's been here forever.
I know.
The big donut. Well,
Yeah.
no, they need the big donut. It's been here for years.
That's right. They try taking that away. They're in trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, we'll miss the donuts.
Yeah, if they do that, I'm not going to ever go to a mall if they do that. The mall, if they ever built a mall here where the donut used to be,
That's bad.
we ain't going.
Yeah, but I'm cheating. I'm a diabetic. I ain't supposed to be eating.
Okay, you won't tell anybody.
Don't tell nobody now.
Take care. How would you feel, ma'am, if they came and took away the donut?
Oh, that would be a tragedy.
Those greedy developers. Huh?
What are you
Would it be a
going to
tragedy?
do, fight them?
Pardon me?
Are you going to fight them?
Well, don't you think people should? You know, don't you think?
I don't know, so many of them have gone out. The Brown Derby, what else? Dolores's.
What was Dolores's? What was that?
It was a drive-in.
Oh, yeah?
Drive up, uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I think at one time the girls had skates. Used to skate around.
They used to skate around at the drive-in.
Uh-huh.
What happened to that sort of thing? Why are they taking down buildings like this?
Thing of the past.
Would it be a giant mall where? Here?
Yeah.
Or you mean took the place out altogether, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a big loss.
Would be a loss.
Yep.
I mean, it's
It's a landmark.
Yeah, there's something about places like this. They're disappearing everywhere. I mean, this is one of the last places left. You know?
There's a few of them around, not too many.
Yeah. You got a nice family.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
Well, you know, for people that have a donut shop, you look in remarkably good shape. These must be the healthiest donuts on the planet.
We chew them up and spit them out.
Yeah.
We don't swallow them.
Well, I don't know, Ron. I guess all I can say is, you know, donuts forever, you know? Donuts forever and down with ugly pod malls. You know?
Really? I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take any more.
Give me all the
Hey! Hey, pretty good. What's your children list? You guys are good. Thank you very much. Murzynka, хорошо.
Или порушка поранен.
Murzynka.
Thanks a lot.
It's a big fiddle.
Yeah.
That's funky bass balalaika.
Мужик мой истинное горе, для кого себя я берегу. Ты всегда одной ногой на море, а другой ногой на берегу. Хоп! Эй! Мужик мой истинное горе, для кого себя я берегу. Ты всегда одной ногой на море, а другой ногой на берегу.
She did have a good time. It's fun bringing her places.
Becky, you're going home.
And we have a step going down.
What's that colored stuff in the TV?
It looks like lights.
I know.
Picture tubes.
Picture tube?
Picture tubes, yep.
What is this? A TV?
Oh,
No, I thought it was a video camera.
That's our video we're going to be on.
What do you think so far?
I like it.
Sometimes they'll change their colors when you're handling them too, sort of they'll just panic and flush. And I've seen them lighter than this, almost as light as the sand here.
And he only eats red ants, huh?
Well, about 90% of his diet consists of red ants. In areas where the red ant is actually the harvester ant. In areas where the harvester ant has been exterminated, you will not find horned lizards.
And that's one of the reasons why they're almost extinct. Huh?
Yes, that's part of the reason, yeah. Basically.
Habitat destruction.
Habitat destruction, you got it.